All right, to our new patient today. This is from Caleb.
Hi, Caleb.
Says, Dear Dr. Rob, I have started and deleted this message more times than I can count.
Oh, man.
I am a loyal maggot and longtime listener, and I respect you so much.
Oh.
I follow both you and your wife on Insta, and every time I write this email, I seem like a scumbag, which I am not. And I am certainly not in any way criticizing you, your wife, or your marriage. Just the opposite. I just genuinely need help. Your wife lately has been, this is ironic after that email, actually, that we just read. Your wife lately has been posting pictures and story videos with her friends, like skating, roller skating.
Yeah.
And today, he wrote this over the weekend, boating. All of her friends are hot, and of course, Christina stands as the queen bee of beauty.
Yeah.
Basically, they all look like a bunch of gorgeous party girls that make guys drool as they roll down the street or whatever, and that's where my problem is that I need help with. How are you okay with this? I'm not suggesting that you get to tell her what to do, but I would be so enraged if my wife or even girlfriend were doing this stuff, let alone posting it on social media for all to see.
Wow.
I don't really see a difference between the two other than social media just shows more eyes. I don't believe that Christina is doing a look at me thing or engaging in anything wrong. I just can't, as a dude, figure out how you're okay with it. Maybe you aren't, and it's a problem in your relationship. What are you doing and thinking when you know that your wife is skating around town in shorts with a bunch of other girls wearing barely anything or out on a boat showing off her body?
I can't.
Whether she means it or not, as a man, you know as well as I do that she and her friends are sending a message to any guys they see.
Oh!
Do you see a spider?
Oh, God.
You can't tell me they don't get whistled at or followed by guys, or that some boat of dudes didn't take a bunch of pics or videos of them, or worse, hopped on board. I mean, come on.
Oh, Jesus.
Are any of her friends in relationships? I guess I just feel like a person in a committed relationship should leave this stuff in the past and act like they aren't single. And as I write all of this, I think I know I am wrong. But then I hear your voice saying that emotions and feelings aren't wrong. So am I valid? And if so, how are you able to deal with this? And what can or should I do to get there? Or should I? Well, yeah, he had a very nice disclaimer in the beginning, recognizing that he didn't want to sound like a scumbag. Look, Caleb.
Fail.
Look, whether or not you need to change is up to you. You don't have to. You would just have to continue to pursue life with trying to find a woman who agrees with you, basically, who has the same mindset. And it would be ideally and most healthy a mindset, not that I hope that you are giving her permission to do things, but that she also believes when you get into a committed relationship, you leave certain behaviors and activities behind. We all have those lists, right? I mean, Caleb's letter has touched a nerve with Dawn, obviously, and I'm sure many of you, but we do all have that list. There are certain things that all of us of our own volition agree, I'm not going to do that when I'm in a relationship. For some people, it's strip clubs. I'm not going to go to a strip club without my wife. I just leave it behind. So maybe, Caleb, one of the things you can do is not change and find a woman who has the exact same list, for example, that you do. Now, some of the things, you're spot on with some of the things. I am certain, you're right, that my wife and her friends, and you're right, they're all very attractive, that they get whistled at, that they get followed by, of course, I am absolutely sure they spent 6 hours on the water on Saturday. Of course there were dudes taking pictures of them and videos of them. The difference, and I can't give you this, I can't teach you this. I don't care. I don't care. And you're asking me how I don't care. I don't know. I don't give it a second thought. I showed the email to my wife, and after she had her Dawn-like reaction and I was able to calm her down and give her the point of view of, I know lots of guys like you, Caleb. This is a very common problem, in my opinion, with men, but that's me being judgy. I think it's a problem. But that's because I'm different. I don't give it a second thought that I spent all day Saturday working around the house and never thinking about what Christina was doing other than when we texted back and forth, didn't give it a second thought, but I knew that you're right. Yes, of course, all of that is going on. So what? And you said, or worse, hopped on board, and I know what you're picturing. There's this boat of 6, 8 girls in bikinis, and no dudes. There were no dudes on the boat. So a boat of dudes pulls up beside, and they're like, yeah, and they jump on board. Maybe that would. It didn't. Or, well, maybe my wife's lying to me.
Right.
If that happened, because, yes, some of her girlfriends are in relationships and some aren't. So if that happened, my wife and her friends that are engaged or married would go to the other end of the boat and talk.
Right.
And if any guys approached them, my wife would probably just hold up her ring finger. That would blind them.
Exactly.
And that's what would happen. And I don't question that at all. Yes, I'm sure when they're roller skating down Sacramento that there's dudes that pull out their phones and get videos of them, and they probably pleasure themselves to them at night. Who cares? I don't care. Christ, my wife's so beautiful. People probably do that when we're walking down the street, and I'm with her. I can't give you this gift. I don't know how better to respond.
Well, so I'm glad that you touched on the relationship part of it, because the bigger picture that you're drawing is trust. You both have trust for each other and each other's actions, and you both are secure in your relationship. So you touched on the relationship part of it. For me, my screaming and the nerve that it touched is there are areas of my life that I'm absolutely a feminist. A lot of times I hate it because they draw lines as to who can be a part of their group, depending on what you believe. But it is not our gosh damn responsibility to think of all of you and cater to you when we're out and about living life. You're a misogynist pig is what you are. You can still be a really good person and a good guy, but you need to come to understand that your mind is in, I don't even know, the 50s, the 40s, the 30s. You have not progressed with life and with women. They can do whatever it is they feel like doing and dressing like, whether they're in a relationship or not. And it is not our responsibility as females to think about that before we leave that. Oh, I better not. Oh, I better make sure I'm all bundled up because, oh no, I might make a man get all horny and we must cater to men. That's your responsibility. That's something for you to learn. You're either going to act like a buffoon and take the photos and be a child, or you're going to keep it in your mind and pleasure yourself later about it. But it ain't our job to worry about that. It ain't our job to worry about what message we're sending you. Okay? Those days are over. God, grow the hell up.
I think what got you in trouble the most, Caleb,
Ew.
was the line, "You know as well as I do that she and her friends are sending a message to any guys they see."
That's ridiculous.
And the problem with it, the problem that I have with that is multiple. In that, you are viewing it solely through your male brain. And again, I agree with Caleb in this sense that men, no matter what their status is in relationship, when men see a group of extremely attractive women, they turn their heads and they look at them.
Of course they do.
It's human. By the way, women do the same things if they see a group of extremely attractive men.
That is right. But we've never placed that responsibility on you guys, have we?
And
but he sure is.
And so the idea also, by the way, that the way a woman is dressed makes her more or less attractive is silly, because women can be buttoned up head to toe and be gorgeous.
Absolutely.
And be leered at and such. And again, I made this comment last week. This is part of the deal that I think any man that wants to date a woman or a man has to, you have to accept that you find the person that you're with attractive, which means someone else does, which means other people are going to admire your person.
Right.
Now, I think most of us can agree that on the scale of what society defines as traditionally beautiful, yeah, my wife's a few notches above. So it's a little bit even more ridiculous for me in terms of the attention that she gets. How am I losing in this situation?
Yeah.
And I got a few emails here. This one came in, name withheld woman.
Oh, hey girl.
She says, I get Dawn's screaming. A woman's existence, clothing, etc. are not for men. We do it for ourselves. Your ideas are stupid.
Yes. God.
Mindy
Hey, Mindy.
says, is Caleb the boyfriend of the first Dr. Rob letter? Holy hell, what is wrong with these guys?
Dr. Rob is not a real doctor. He only plays a doctor on the radio. Most of the time, he's full of crap.
You can
Man.
write to the doctor anytime
Jesus.
RAD.
Just when you think you've made advancements.
at radradio.com.